Stop no and stop the guilt. No matter how old we are all still children at heart. We are. There's really no doubt about it. And one way that I still see that we're still childlike is when it comes to food. Yes, food. Brace yourselves. Let me put it this way. If I were to tell you that no biscuits were allowed to pass your lips for the next 30 days, what will be the one thing you're constantly thinking of? Is it the biscuits? I can pretty much guarantee it will be. And that's where the child in us emerges. When we're told no, that's the thing we want or want to do because someone's said no to us, someone's told us no. And it becomes the thing we're constantly thinking about because we're trying to avoid it so much that we have to keep reminding ourselves that we've said no or someone else has said no. And what happens after that is you will most likely eat a lot more biscuits than you thought you would because you said no and it's always on your mind. So you go and eat all of the biscuits because it's there. Whereas if you hadn't said no, you probably would have had one or two, moved on and felt fine, been happy with those one or two. And this is where balance is key when it comes to food. Nutritional balance. So you've heard myself and maybe my friend in our podcast talk about having these kinds of foods, but in a balanced diet, about having the ones that we so heavily and morally label negatively as part of your diet, to enjoy them now and then and move on. And this is where the balance is key. What impacts all this sort of thing happening, the overeating, is the negative language that we use around the foods that we enjoy but know maybe aren't bringing us much nutritional balance. And I think we forget and don't realise just how much the negative language does have an impact. And this is why big brands capitalise and profit so much out of you when they use such words as guilt-free or healthy or low calorie, whatever. We are conditioned to believe that they are the ideal words when it comes to food, similar to saying no to something that is believed to be bad. Life would be boring if we didn't have a little of those things that we find pleasure in. But it's knowing how to keep in control of those foods, of doing those certain things. But how? How do we keep in control? Well, first of all, you need to make sure all of your meals and snacks are very nutritional, that they do give your body all the fuel, all the nutrients and everything that it needs. And you need to make sure you eat all of it. You've got to eat all of it because that is what the body is needing to function and go about its day-to-day business. And if you find that after eating all those meals and all those snacks that you still want that biscuit, have the biscuit. You'll probably also find that if you've eaten everything, you might not want the biscuit because your body is nutritionally satisfied. But the idea is to make sure that you eat well and still enjoy those foods labelled so negatively, but in small quantities. That's what it's all about. It's all about finding the balance and just not overeating on these things. Just think about the words that you use around food because it really will impact on how you deal with trying to eat well or trying to eat less of something that isn't bringing you the nutrition but you still want to have to enjoy. Think about those words. Stop saying no, stop guilting yourself, and choose those words wisely.